Oh man, hey there everyone, it's the Patapon, well not everyone, it's the Patreon only video type thing that I do all the time. Sorry that this one is a lot more tardy than usual, but I figured you'd rather like to have a good one, or at the very least normal standard quality one, than the rushed one that I would have had to have done if I had done it on time. Sometimes it's better to have it a bit late, but be good. Our request for today: you should draw a cute but manly turnip person sometime. I don't know how to draw something that is manly and cute at the same time. It is beyond my abilities, I think, but at the very least, we're gonna give it a try. This is the part where people write a thing to me and I reply to it, but I reply by speaking, but they ask the question in writing. That's how it works. And we started with Meatball Rider. Dear now, Cal, just because I'm a powerful wizard doesn't mean I like you or anything. Jeez. 1. If you had to go on the warpath, also known as a warrior's pathway, what style of war paint would you wear on your face? Tiger stripes. They would make me look fierce and on fire simultaneously. 2. How would you pay for immunity to getting a really catchy song stuck in your head? No, I wouldn't pay anything. You know what? I don't mind. I don't mind a catchy song in the head from time to time. And as terrible as they may be on the spot, they're never there so long that you feel distressed and burning forever. And I know that's... if having a song stuck in your head meant I felt I was burning alive, then I might pay something. But that is not something that is currently physically possible, I'm gonna go ahead and politely decline your sales pitch prepared there, Meatball Rider. 3. If a swear filter was attached to the very fabric of the universe, what word would you use to attempt to bypass this insidious plot? But I don't swear. Like, already instead of an F word, like, I'll normally say, like, fart. And I'll say poop instead of, the more regular word that I think you just designed that to make me swear on camera, which I've already did in Patreon videos in the past. But I'm still being cagey about it because I'm playing along. See, that's how I do it. I would just, flat out just kind of like sidestep the whole situation. That's me, Sidestep McGee. I side the steps and then I ignore the question and then we go eat the shepherd's pie. Shepherd's pie is pretty good, assuming it is the right, I was supposed to the right recipe, but that's true for most food. 4. Sometimes a combatant will go back in time to rewrite the past using knowledge of the future, and those are the stories. If you had to sign up for these events, what would you do? Is it just me, or is this question significantly less clear than usual? I mean, I don't know. How do you sign up for these events? This question is lacking several extremely important aspects to be like. There's details that I need here. I can't fill up everything. I don't know. Maybe you just write a letter. It's a form you gotta send. It's not just an email. It's on paper. You gotta sign it, add your social security number and everything. It's the government, that kind of takes care of that. And then you wait around 2 or 3 months, and then you'll receive a phone call to see if you're accepted for time traveling. That's how it's all bureaucracy. This is what happens if you let me choose these things. Everything becomes bureaucracy and super gross. Somebody stop me, please. 5. Because of a series of contrived coincidences, a powerful wizard decides to grant you a classic Philosopher's Stone. What do you do with it? Isn't the purpose of Philosopher's Stone to transmute lead into gold? The problem is I don't really have all that much lead on me right now. So I would see what else kind of like. Maybe I could transmute metals into something I actually have a need for. Like, it's not like gold would be very useful to me at this moment. So maybe I could just like transmute wood into a pillow. That is no, that's completely egregious and complete utter waste of a powerful artifact. And you're gonna be using that to make pillows, Raocow? Are you aware of what you're saying? To which I answer, self, mind your own business. No, Meatball Rider's been asking this to me, not you. So let me answer that. And yeah, I would create all the pillows. I would saturate the market with pillows. We wouldn't have to destroy birds anymore for their feathers. Because I'll just be destroying forests for the pillows. And that's how it's gonna go. And you can't change my mind, alright? You hear? Okay? Okay? 6. What are your elemental weaknesses? Everyone here knows it's wind. Everyone knows that. It's been a while since I played the ROM hack, so maybe people have had time to forget. So I don't necessarily blame you, but no, it's wind. Like it's wind. Please keep your wind out of your arms and doors. Weimar saying is all, if salad was a dressing, what viewer would it be served with? That's really good question. I don't know who would be a good salad dressing, honestly. But no, that would go. Okay. Wait a second. I see you're putting down there, and I'm answering without context, no explanation. Dog in a grass. Pito! I misspelled your name when I copied it here because it's Zipto. We're reaching that time when everyone is giving their top 10s and that stuff. So I figured I should ask, what is your personal game of the year 2015? This is a game that is very difficult for me to answer for the simple fact that I don't really keep in touch all that much with, video games, like current video games and whatnot. I tend to play old stuff. Like, I don't know what games I played this year that are dated 2015. I thought Mbibli's Quest was one, but turns out it actually was released in 2014, so even that doesn't count. Consider, like, okay, there's games that were released in 2015 that I played. Binding of Isaac Afterbirth. If there's any other game you guys would know, because every other game I played for the internet in some fashion, except for Skullgirls, but that's more than that age. And Smash is last year, it's not this year. So I would have to go with that. Afterbirth was just for the fact that I just don't play enough games. And I don't want to give the title of best game of the year to a game that I haven't, personal. Well, this is disgusting line work. Go away. So I don't want to give that. It has to be a game that I've actually played. I just don't have enough. I have not played enough to be a spokesman for GOTY 2015. Unfortunately. That's always gonna be the case. I read a lot about games and whatnot, but I don't play a lot of them. So yeah, that's pretty much what it comes down to. I think in this case, I don't know. What is your game of the year 2015? Y'all have any? Like, I know there's Mario Maker. Mario Maker was this year. If you'd asked me a month ago, I would give you that then as a complete resolute answer. But at the state we're at, I don't know anymore. Like, I need to see actual work from Nintendo in terms of DLC plans or anything at all for Mario Maker before I can decide that would be it. And I don't want to give it to Afterbirth because I don't know. I love the game, but Ed doesn't know what he's doing, and I don't want to encourage him in his doesn't know what he's doingness, which is probably kind of a rude thing to say, but here we are. Yeah. I'm sure a lot of you out there have way more opinions about the relative ranking and preferences of video games. And speak out if you want me to read your opinions aloud. Maybe you'll spark a debate and gain a new nemesis, which is always a fun thing to have. Just keeps you honest. And what is more important in life than being kept honest by a complete stranger? What am I doing here? I don't know. My line work makes no sense. Dr. Bimblescriff, did you mean the latest SimCity from 2013? Yeah, cause SimCity 4. Yeah, I forgot that there was a game that was just SimCity 4. My apologies. When I was speaking about SimCity last week, I meant SimCity 2013 by EA. Did you mean the latest SimCity from 2013? Because SimCity 4's the 2003 one was fairly well received. 2013 one was a major train wreck, though. No denying that. So there you go. Sorry about the confusion. Anyway, questions. 1. What are some of your favorite pieces of traditional artists? Gonna say Dali, Salvador Dali, which is a well-known surrealist painter. I don't have any particular preferences from him. I just love his general body of work. Same thing with Magritte, another surrealist painter, super good. It's just flat out super good. And we're talking if we're going to be talking about traditional art, traditional painting, that's the general direction I'm going to be going towards too. Because what I like is that the individual elements that they paint looks really realistic, looks really, just like a normal representation of something out there, like it was like an academic painting. But then it's the way it's juxtaposed with different objects is what makes it work. It's the same thing that what makes something like One Punch Man work is that everything is depicted relatively, I mean, with some exception, of course, like relatively honest. Like it's very, like everything is depicted in a very traditional way, and then you get this one element that just kind of pushes everything, kind of, it displaces everything, and that's more or less like what I like about it, and that's kind of like what's happening in the painting world, although it's happening, but it happened a while back. Surrealist movement was, several years ago, and has officially ended several years ago, more than several, but still. Also, I gotta give my shout-outs to André Ducharme for everything he did to troll and completely destroy the art world, and it became basically what it is known for now. Shout-outs, that is very necessary from me to you. 2, a mighty astrophysicist has made a planet-making machine, has given you, yes you, the controls. What would your very own planet be like? Nice. Something very because I want to be able to live on it, like very similar to Earth. Just, less stained by the hands of human progress, except it needs to have what is necessary to have, like, internet and electricity and food and whatnot, but just otherwise a lot more, just more and more pleasant, maybe bigger, so people have more space to be spaced out because crowding is a problem, and it would have leaves and trees and bees. Those are the 3 important to have a cool planet. Remember that. Telemon! Alright, all those dumb salad questions were supposed to be leading up to something, but due to dumb Patreon pressing enter submitting your comment nonsense, you didn't get the last bit. Basically, seriously, F Patreon comments, God, I just asked if you thought Justin Trudeau was super dreamy. There, jeez. And I answered, not really. He looks kind of greasy. There we go. Micofire. For a change, the music request is here at the start. Man, the video was so quiet as of now. No one was asking for any music. It was like, what? Music? that stopped to exist since 1976, when the government was all like, man, listening to music makes people tap their feet. Luo muhapo lintukoto. I probably mispronounced the entire universe, but here we are. There's some backbeat going on here. I'm just gonna lower the soundtrack a little bit. As for the trailer watching thing, I thought hearing your reactions to the trailer was the most important part. Maybe just skip repeat requests? Like, see, I can't really do that, I feel, because maybe not everything is fresh in mind. I certainly won't remember everything I saw last year. Well, it was not last year, but like a few months ago. A few months ago is a long time. And I don't know, man. And it's just like, in that case, I think it's unfair, because it puts more emphasis in the new things, whereas maybe there are legitimately some older things that would be really interesting, and I feel like they wouldn't be given their due share, you know? It's a prickly situation, the whole trailer thing. I still like the idea, I think, of just offering them, inviting people to watch them all, and just, you know, do what you will. I don't know. I think I'm kind of agreeing with some of the last messages last week about this, where we could give it a try this way and see if it has any meaning, if it has any meaningful effect, and we'll decide through there. Yeah. Anyway, I'm happy to know that I have managed to put ideas into your head. Questions. 1. Have you ever considered giving me all your money? Never. 2. Which video game company would you least object to being sponsored by? Huh. That's a hard question. And you know, that kind of goes to go about how much trust we have into them companies. Well, I mean, this would imply as anyone that I could go for something indie, right? You know what? The team that's making Copy Kitty. If you want to sponsor me, I would be glad to give the high praise about the video game you are making that I already like quite a bit. Is that copping out? You never say AAA, so that's gonna be my answer. Oh man, I'm just killing this picture, by which I mean I am literally murdering it because I'm overworking some parts and pieces here. It's pretty cool. I'm digging the backbeat of this song, though. I don't know. They're enjoying it. 2, already answered. 3, beard or no beard? I'd rather no beard, except some people can pull it off well. Personally, I don't like facial hair, but at the same time, sometimes it takes me a little bit to shave because I am living the life of a hermit. So here we are. 4, are you going to play the updated version of The Invasion 2? I don't particularly feel the need for it. Like, unless it is significantly different. There's a link here. Let me check the link in case it says anything. But like, it's kind of like a Second Reality Project 2 remake. I just don't think it really needs it. And the link you gave me says the request topic does not exist. I know why. It's a stupid ampersand thing. There we go. Oh, well, it's the version by Horikawa. I mean, I know ahead of time that it's just a big old troll. So yeah, spoilers, it's a big old troll. And that's that. Horikawa, I'm calling you out on your big old trollism. 5, what is your favorite pastry? Chocolate eclair. 6, what is your favorite subgenre of fantasy? Low fantasy, I guess, is what I'm gonna put down. I'm not super cognizant of all the different subgenres, unfortunately. But low fantasy is alright. 7, what makes you happy? Several things. If you permit me to be a little bit sappy, knowing that so many people out there take the time to watch all my stuff, and that brings them literal joy, kind of has the same like reverse effect on me. Not in that knowing that people enjoy it brings me a lot of happiness. I would be a significantly different person had I not just randomly picked up that hobby and it randomly just picking up a whole lot and randomly affecting a whole bunch of people for reasons I still barely understand. It's a little sappy, I think, and probably not what you wanted me to say, but it is genuine thought spheres here, and I apologize for the general thought spheres. They just float around and being purple. You don't have a lot of control over them. Where am I? 8. If you were to make a co-commentary Let's Play with your channel, who would most likely do it with? Probably AOD, because if I would be doing co-commentary, I want it to be someone with whom I have the most amount of chemistry with, and he's my best friend. Like, it's gonna be great. I know ahead of time it would be. If he wasn't available, like I'm used to doing a lot of stuff with Horikawa, so she would be number 2, probably. But, no man, I mean, if you're gonna be doing co-commentary with someone, the more you know them in advance and the more you're used to speaking with them and whatnot, the best. Like, I know some people might have answered this going with like some kind of superstar, internet superstar or something, and sure, it might be fun, but it's not the best answer, I feel. At least, like, it might be fun for you, but I think people register, like, they respond to a really good dynamic. And it's more important to find someone with whom you have an excellent dynamic than picking someone for the views, you know? I'm probably overthinking this. 9. The game genie erupts from the depths of your Nintendo and turns your life into a video game, but lets you choose the genre. What is your choice? I get to choose the genre, but not the game itself, I guess. Maybe it's gonna make, like, game in and of itself. I'm going to go with platformer, because that means that might actually fix my legs. Because I need to be able to I will be able to find a power-up that would power me up. I don't know, like, under most genre, life is impossible, or too possible, depending on how you look at it. That's what I have to say about that, even though that makes no sense and doesn't answer anything. Kaika, since Megalex 2 was such a big project, is Megalex 3 going to open its probably even bigger doors in February like last year? Or will there be a bigger break to keep up with the relative bigness of things? Megalex 3 is going to be in 2 years, as the next Magal project is going to be a Magal one for the Super Nintendo, and I am praying that it doesn't have 300 contestants, but like a more mellow 20-30 or something, because okay, the reality is I cannot continue to have project as big as Megalex 2. That thing is gonna have been gone for like a good third of a year. And I mean, it was fun, it was nice, it was neat, but it cannot be sustained. Like, I cannot be... Like, we're gonna end up at a point if this continues where basically all I do is talk house projects, and it's almost already to the point where that would be possible. And although that would be fun, I can see that being really frustrating for people out there on the YouTubes and whatnot. Like, you know, they're... And I mean, at the same time, too, I don't want to have talk house fatigue, and I want Magal X3 to be big, but there's something that's gonna have to change so that I'm not stuck doing one contest for literally half a year. What's gonna be done, though, however, that I have no clue. I just don't know. Pengu Penguinson is a person. Hey, Either you missed my questions from last week, or I missed you not missing my questions from last week. Either way, here they are again. If you answered them last week, just answer them again, as I'm sure this is the most poignant part of your week. Well, I had a thing of something to ask you now, Cal, because I'd hate for you to run out of things to do in these videos. So here's some penguins questions. 1. Why do you think penguins are the superior race in the universe? Because they can endure extreme, terrible cold, which is going to be how the Earth is going to end up anyways, no matter about man-made global warming. That global warming, truly that will bring the end of time. 2. How many penguin ninjas would it take to overthrow Europe? Maybe a dozen? Like, if we consider this as a gradual thing, you could just get like a dozen. I gradually be able. If you want it to happen suddenly, efficiently, in a few amount of days, though, that might be enough. Like we just gotta be realistic. It might not be enough. You might need like 30 or something. I know penguins are great and all, but you gotta be realistic. There's only so much a ninja penguin can do in Europe. If it was Africa, if it was Russia, if it was Argentina, be different. But Europe is several countries. Well, so is Africa actually. But Europe is several countries. But and you know, the fact that you got the very cold places up north, like I think penguins would become too comfortable. I don't know. I'm just saying, just more than a dozen, but less than 2. 3. If you wanted to invent a device for penguins to be able to thumb wrestle, what would it be like? Describe in details, include a sketch if necessary. I mean, an image is worth 1,000 words, so let me just open up a file here. It's new. So let's just do this real quick here. So you've got like the flipper. That's a flipper. So what you would do is it would be like a strap here, like this, you know. And see, you do like sort of like metallic thumb thing, right? And you put like there's this lever here. There's a pulley system over here. Okay, I think you understand, right? And then you know the then this attaches to another strap further down the flipper. So what happens, and you know, and there's like a system of pulley and lever. So what happens is that they flex here, and they flex their muscle flippers. That activates the pulleys. You know, so you chuk like this, and that makes the thumb press down like that. See, in this direction. So that if, you know, and because it is mechanical strength, it will crush the thumb of their opponent, and they will say, ouch, which is how you determine a winner in penguin thumb wrestling. Not a lot of people know this, because technology doesn't quite exist yet. But I know all the rules were all erected ahead of time, as I am pretty sure you are already aware, Mr. Penguinson. 4. Would you put humans into enslavement camps to do the labor for your dominant empire, or genocidally to kill them all to ensure they never revolt? Man, no, penguins are smarter than that. Like, although they are the superior race, according to some, the fact is that in terms of biology, there are some key movements that they are just not equipped to do, such as pedal a bike due to the very short legs. And they need humans to be able to do that work for them, you know? So you're going to have like a penguin lord with its stable of humans that are basically there to keep pedaling bikes. Because you got to keep pedaling bikes. That's important. And other things, you know, such as putting on a snorkel. Like, you know, human snorkels don't fit on penguins, and someone needs to be there to wear all the snorkels. It's just the kind of necessary things that you need to consider when you're considering, you know, about just the well-working, you know, of an empire. They're the little details that sometimes we tend to forget about. 5. How would you fix Fishy Joe's terrible bad breath? If these are too hard to answer, then you may pause the space-time continuum and answer your answers before resuming the recording. Basically, the only way to fix Fishy Joe's terrible bad breath is murder. Just Just get a Ninja Penguin, 3 a.m. Penguin goes in the house, goes out the house, and oh man, there's a person less on Earth. That's the only thing. It's the only thing. We've tried everything else. Don't even think about it. PhilbyPod has a musical request, and it is that Max Rab, We Will Rock You. We Will Rock You is a song. Oh man. I'm not hating the remix here. I don't have any meaningful questions to ask. Maybe I'll come back later in the week. I don't know. So please just send my best wishes to Fariel, who already have had his procedure by the time you read this. So to Fariel, thinking of you as you recover. I've seen you around the net since I was on the TV tropes forum, and always thought you were a swell guy. Take it easy, duder. Yeah, we'll get Fariel soon enough. But yeah, this guy had an operation. And I've had several in my life. They're never the most. Okay, this song took a turn. But operation are a thing. They're never not a thing. They're kind of scary and they kind of suck as they happen. But we all gotta make it through. Not necessarily. Like, you can totally live a life where you never have to have an operation, but that's not the case. And yeah. Anyways, Fariel didn't reply as I requested after post his operation, and we'll get back to that soon enough. Maiku Wataharu, how the heck did I end up part of a question and answer in this video? Am I becoming popular? Maiku Wataharu, I am glad to say first of all, you have one of the most recognizable voices I've heard in a while. But two, you're just a very sympathetic, honest kind of guy. And there's a very, your personality shines through a lot of the messages you put down here in the questions and in the talk house and elsewhere. And, even if you don't make a concerted effort to it, it's something that people will notice. And they do. And they are. You're once we hear you, or listen to you, or just listen to one of your questions reread by some kind of French-Canadian man, it notices, and people connect to things that are different, that are unique, that stand out. And you're a standouty kind of guy, Maiku, I'm afraid to say. Meatball Rider, results! An attempt was made to try and learn the secret message in the last video, but out of fear of getting hex growth in my neck, laziness, I decided to stop. Instead, please indulge in some music from a video game. Then he adds, good luck for Operate Guy. Obviously, speaking about Fariel here. He exists. And his name has become codified into a video game character name in a video game. Ni no Kuni OST main theme. Ooh, that game that looks basically like a cartoon to the point where it is kind of scary. Alright, it's gonna have some OST. The lovely Penguin chimes in with, hope you enjoyed your non-Thanksgiving, have some music, and so the music's gonna have to stop. Why Marsane? Who is your favorite OPM character and why is it Licenseless Rider? OPM being One Punch Man, and Licenseless Rider being Licenseless Rider. Okay, I'm gonna level with you. Licenseless Rider is a pretty cool guy and is the hero that everyone needs and the hero that everyone should aspire to be. But personally, I'm more in the hashtag Team King. I'm sorry to say, I apologize if this upsets you, but sometimes we gotta make choices. I'm not gonna say anything. That's all. Or not giving any details. Why Yoshi Egg? What would you do if at some point you got so many patrons and /or questions that your Patreon video would be 6 hours long? My guess for why these videos have become longer is that, without meaning to judge, they seem to be evolving from Draw with Raocow to show Raocow your favorite stuff. Agreeing with that. Also, have you ever considered that cereal might be a salad? There's a neat video about this, but you should probably watch that on your own time, or at least pause the recording. Just gonna drag this here. So this is the URL here. See this here? Apparently they talk about cereal being a salad. Like, I don't know. I think that's going... Whoa! I think that's going a bit too far. Soup, sure. Salad. What kind of dressing would you put down with cereal? Like, that just don't make sense to me. And if they were to grow to be 6 hours, I don't know, I might have to change the format or something. Because I'd be spending literally days. Like for a 1 hour video... Okay, let's talk about the sausage a little bit here. For your typical 1 hour video of Patreon videos I make, requires roughly, like I'm being very, very, very roughly here, about 3 hours amount of work. Like we're talking, so basically we're talking about, it basically takes up a sizable chunk of my afternoon, which I'm fine with. It kind of made my Sundays my busiest day of the week, oddly enough. But I'm fine with that. If they were to become 6 hours, of course it's not a 1-to-1 ratio, but they would be starting to take kind of way too long, and I would have to change the format in some fashion if it were to come to that. Not that I want to discourage anyone from sending things out, but you know, we gotta be realistic. At some level. I don't think it's gonna get to that point, though. I just don't think it's gonna be a thing, but I appreciate your concerns. Well, you can listen to a different piece of music. Dreamy Summum Labyrinth from Mario Luigi Dream Team music. That is this kind of music I might associate with the dreamscape. Arian Paletti. If Mario has no arm, how does Wow, that is totally not what you wrote. If Demo has no arm... Oh yeah, I am. For a while there I thought, hey, wait, am I recording an audio-only version? I was like, oh no, but I am! I'm looking at it right here, see? That's the audio-only version! Anyways... If Demo has no arm, how does she play video games? Does she play with her feet? Does she have psychic powers she uses to press the button? So you see, Cyclops, the ABCDs. Okay, I'm gonna open up another image file. Whoa, what are you doing here? I'm gonna open up a new image file here. So ABCDs not have members the same way that we understand them. To give you an idea of how it works, so you notice how I always draw them as like these little stubs. That's what it is. It's not a stylization of like a leg or a feet or something. That is what it is. So what happens that, let's say that there is a controller here, see, with buttons. The way it works is that she presses her feet completely against the surface of the thing. Now, although it's just like a stub, actually she has an infinitely precise control of every surface, of every millimeter inch surface of her skin. And she can basically tiny bumps she can summon all over her body, sort of like goosebumps. And although they're very tiny, they're very precise, and they're also surprisingly strong. So she just kind of places the whole thing, and she will basically, just kind of poke her goosebumps enough on each button to make it do what she wants. That's how she holds a glass of water. She's just gonna have put out her bumps to hold it and grip it, and that's it. It's basically has a strength of it's like some kind of Velcro. Think of it as her body, her entire body, being this weird Velcro surface that she has absolute control on whether it'll hold on to something or not. So that's how it works. Of course, in that case, would be it's always a lot more comfortable for her to play a video game while sitting down. But to be fair, that's kind of the case with everyone. So yeah, keep that in your mind for all your future fanfics. Pizza Pony's all, oh wow, Cal, you always sell yourself too short. In the U.S. States quiz, you did get 1 point when you got Vermont, and there wasn't 150 questions, just 50, each with a possible point value of 3 for getting each first try. Anyway, I really like making little tests, so let's see if you can put together another little one that's more your forte. I screwed up. If I can put together, yeah. Remember, no pressure. But first music to set the moon as soon as it's there. The test. Alright, Pizza Pony, let's test it out. 1A. Name all 7 Koopa Kids in the order they appear in Super Mario World. World? Alright. World, huh? Alright. Iggy, Morton, Lemmy, Ludwig, Roy, Wendy, Larry. 1B. Name at least 5 of the classic enemies in The Legend of Zelda. The official names, i.e. snakes, are not called snakes. 5, Gibdo, Genie, or Genie, I don't know how you pronounce that, Ropes, Keys, Tektites, there we go, that's 5. 1C. In Star Tropic, the first, what was the parents' hint as to what the key to press on the giant piano? I completely forgot. It was a string of notes, but I completely forgot the phrase. And what did you have to give him first in order to get the hint? You gave him a mealworm that a guy gave you because he thought you'd be going fishing. 1D. Describe the first 3 bosses you defeat to get the pendants in the Link to the Past. And bonus point if you know their names and the name of each place you fight them in. There's the Armos Knights and the Eastern Palace. There's the Lamnolas and the Desert Palace. And there's Moldorm and Tower of... oh, Hera, I think? Man, why do I remember that kind of detail? I don't know, it's a little bit scary, but just a little bit. Let's check out the answers! Alright, so... Iggy, Morton, Lemmy, Ludwig, Roy, Wendy, Larry, I was right. Let's see here. Gibdos I had, Tektites I had, Guineas I had, Ropes I had. Was there another one? I forget. Yeah, Do Me So Far, Do Me, I completely forgot, but I got the Worm, Armos Knights, Lamnolas, Tower of Hera. Man, I am way better than I thought I was going to be. Nuts to that, we love Mario. Nuts to all of that. That's kind of fun. It's fun when it's something you actually have a chance of maybe knowing. I don't know. Why do I know these things, though? Like, of all things that my brain has to make space for AOST Examination Moderate 2001. Like, it's kind of scary to think about, like, the kind of nonsense that my brain has to make room in. But why? why do I have space reserved just for that? I don't know. 2! Why don't you read questions directly from this Patreon page? That way you could just click links. I'll often open it in a separate tab, and you'll be sure not to miss anything. Basically, it's so that when I'm working on a painting, Firefox, like, it would be really awkward to have it open on the side, and I don't have a 2-screen setup right now. Now, that's not to say send me a second stream. I own a second stream. I just don't have the space to set it up. So yeah, so the advantage of putting everything in a text file is that I can just kind of like squeeze it in on the side and be able to read everything while I'm working on a digital painting or something. That's basically the reason. Like, otherwise I could jump into Firefox, read it, and then go back and, you know, and all that, but I like to be able to refer to it and refresh my mind as I'm answering this stuff. So that's just the most convenient method I have getting this done. 3, oh man, that coincidence of Rome actually making a level. Maybe if I ask if Pink made a level, she'll have made a level too. I hope it includes a chompy no. Fun fact. Pink was offered to make a level, and she told me this, but she's just like, she kind of overshot what she had time to do, and just never got time to finish anything worthwhile, unfortunately. But Pink was approached. I'm gonna turn this into a question. What kind of level do you think Pink would make if it doesn't already has happened by next Sunday? Pink would have recreated Frantic Factory from Donkey Kong 64, considering the amount of special and unique elements that she would have to create. That's what kind of burned her up and made it so that she did not have time to do anything. She could have made something easier and simpler just to put something out there, but that was out of question, apparently. 4. If one of us peeps knows your address just when they came to your apartment, what would your reaction be? Not that I would, that'd be kind of rude, but if I did, I'd at least bring some kind of awesome gift. It would be super awkward, and honestly, I would try to be polite about it, but I would not be happy, especially if it came as a surprise. I try to be polite about it, so you might not notice, but I wouldn't. I don't do that. Don't do that, anyone. Please. Like, for real here. 5. Did you sit on a pile of sugar because you got a sweet ass? No, I didn't. I'm sitting on a leather chair. 6. I should really check Talkhouse every now and then, as I wasn't sure if there'd be an Advent Christmas thing this year. But I'll go out and get something for you today, and hopefully it'll arrive to you before Christmas. Just add it with the gift of the day whenever it arrives. Also, it'll be in an envelope inside another envelope, so you can open the first one and get rid of that pesky address that has been known to cause severe pixelization. Well, don't feel like you have to. And what is probably going to happen is that I know Insane Intentions is going to send me something, even though he's not officially on the list. So people who are not on the list, I'm basically going to continue beyond the 25th. So if you do send me something, you might appear on the 26th or on the 27th or something, basically. That's how I've decided I would handle it, because I knew as a situation it would happen. Oh, man. 7. My lord, a band of foolish adventurers has invaded your sanctum and seek to slay you and steal your riches. What plans have you to dispatch these interlopers? Sicken the dragon. We got a dragon in the dungeons. Why do you think we keep a dragon? Like, it takes so much resource. Take care of it. Just shoot it out there. Like, just sign the dragon alarm so the peasants know to hide, and just stick it out there. Wreck all the interloper. Any damage that the dragon has do is going to basically, like, it's not going to be any worse than the invaders. So, just nuts to them. Dragging it up. Alain, hello, Rao Cow. Hi, Alain. Alain, sorry, Alan. I had a question about structuring comic panels. Was wondering if I could get your input. I've had some ambition to create my own webcomic, but I have run into a conflict between two forces. When beginning a page, should I let the content of the scene define the specific panels layout, or should I establish panels first, then tweak them as I develop the scene within them? In my trial/practice sheets, I have always been frustrated by the result letting the scene shape panel positions, because the result for me feels janky and doesn't flow together well, but alternatively I feel trapped and limited if I establish the pages boxes first. If I don't know if this is just a beginner's problem and if it will come more naturally as I go on, or if skilled comic illustrators have just learned a balance between the two, or if this is just a problem unique to my brain. I guess I was just curious of your input, if you've dealt with any similar issues before. Alright, so, Al, one thing you gotta take in mind. If you're doing art for a comic, suddenly you're not just doing art for the sake of doing art. You're not just doing illustration for the sake of illustration. You need to communicate clearly an idea. And as soon as you're trying to communicate, especially clearly, concessions have to happen. Before you do your page, like at the very least, thumbnail something out. Take another sheet of paper, like do a little rectangle, like a small one, and shape out your idea ahead of time. Do a thumbnail. put down ahead of time how you think your panel should be and how the scene would fit within that, and use that as your plan to work on your real page. Yes, you lose a slight bit amount of spontaneity, but I mean, you're communicating here. Doing a comment, you're communicating. You can't just go willy-nilly. As you gain experience, you will learn to gauge. You will get an eyeball for what you need to do for what kind of scene. But as you're learning, of course, that's not going to come naturally. And you will have to do things a little bit more mechanically at first. That's just going to happen. You can't fight it. That's just going to be it. And that's it. I know it sucks, but you got to put in the work before you can get to it to be like 100% fun, crazy stuff land. And that's the case with pretty much everything. And that's just how it is. And I know it's probably not what you want to hear, but at the very least, like, do it in, like I said, do it in a thumbnail so you can kind of like try to do your spontaneous part there and realize ahead of time that, oh no, this doesn't work, and work it out before you're working on a real page. This is my advice to you. Xerix. Last week you said you had a Hokage, I assume an HD PVR. What version do you have? I think they made two, one with an HDMI connection, one without. If you have the one without, I'll gladly give you some optimized settings to do a test recording with it, if you like. I've been using an HD PVR for several years now, and all the videos come out pretty nice looking. I don't know, let me check. I don't know if you can actually hear me, because I'm leaving my chair and stuff. Let's see here. So it has, I don't know if you can still hear me. Setting back down, it has an HDMI out. So I don't know what that changes, but it does. Rena Turnip. I don't know what else to say. I've always been doing PC things, so it's just never been a concern. And just honestly breaching into the exciting world of consoles still kind of scares me a little bit. Still makes me a little bit worried. Rena Turnip. Hey Raocow, happy holidays! Before you open my box, I want to apologize that it was wrapped poorly. Couldn't find any. Oh, this isn't your Advent Xbox at all. This is Patreon. Huh. Unfortunately, I still don't really have any questions or such to ask right now. I just haven't really been thinking about it. However, I did want to really thank you for your words, as well as everyone who responded last video about work things. Y'all are the greatest, Sadamoticon. Okay, I guess I'm typing this up on Friday, so it would be a great time to say again, good luck, Fariel. Please come back and give us good news. This is a lazy question, but since it came to mind just now, do you take long or short showers? Do you like the water to be really hot or just comfy and warm? I like it comfy and warm. My shower will take anywhere between 2 and 5 minutes, I guess. I don't know if this is something you'd consider long or not, because standards change everywhere. Cubic Tom, music request for DJ Raocow, the last song you listened to before recording this Patreon video. And question, if you had $5 to give to a charity, which charity would you donate to? Probably Doctors Without Frontier. Probably be a good thing. Yeah. Is there a history? Yes. Because I haven't listened to, like, music files, so the last song I will have listened will have been through, this thing here. So let me check. What's the last song here? Oh man, spoilers! I might be a guest somewhere soon. Let's see here. I'm not seeing a lot of. There's a lot of just videos I've watched, my own stuff there. What's the last music? This is turning into more of a thing than I thought it'd be, isn't it? See, because I'm thinking there has to be music for the sake of music, as in it can't be like as backdrop for a show or a game or whatever. I guess that would be it. the OP for the opening theme of One Punch Man anime. However, I'm aware that if I put this as background, it's gonna be problem. So what I'm going to do is I'm looking for another... There we go. I'm going to put the piano version. Someone did a piano version of the song, and it's kind of amazing. There we go. There we go! Grigory Kikola. 0 is almost universally considered an even number amongst mathematicians, at least in English-speaking circles. We can usually define an integer m to be even if there exists an integer n, such as m equal to n, and this is trivially satisfied by 0. The only setting in which it is common to not consider 0 to be even is in the game of roulette. Not a question, a command. Come up with a brief sentence about anything, but do not use the letter E at all. Your choice of English or French? Thanks, Cow. Okay, I will. Swirly Bomb, Mr. Sirao Cow. I was rather disappointed by your playthrough of my Magol X2 level. Wait, are you serious? Or did you not... I mean, if I upset you or something in my playthrough of your level, please tell me how. I might try to amend things, but I hope I didn't literally disappointed you. Well, as retribution, you must answer my Patreon questions. A powerful wizard appears before you and demands to know why you keep being asked questions about powerful wizards. Because only powerful wizards are supposed to be able to answer powerful wizard questions. How do you respond? By fear. And running away. Oh man, asking about things don't really say anymore. Handful of times in the past, you've made a sound that's something like a pwet, a pwet, a pwet. That's sample in case I know what you're talking about. Does that mean something in French, or are you just making noise? Doesn't mean anything, but it's inspired by French-Canadian comedian François Pérusse, which is the kind of thing he would do to denotate either someone speaking nonsense or a small child. And, you know, since I've listened to that comedian's stuff since I was a teen, a lot of his mannerism has more or less kind of like just hitched a ride in my brain, and sometimes come out when it is a good time, I guess. I don't know. Yes. As we are all very well acquainted, you have, or used to have, a tendency to describe things as a thing. I feel like I read somewhere that this may be because French, or Quebecois French, has many words that roughly mean a thing, but don't necessarily translate to English. Or maybe it's just because you can't think of what to call something at a time. Do you recall how this started? When I call something a thing, the reason why I choose to do that is that, well, it's really in French. There is several slang words, at least in Quebec, that basically mean the same undefined object, so to speak, that have different connotations that, as far as I'm aware, doesn't really exist because in French, you could say la chose, l'affaire, le truc, le cossin. There's a whole bunch of words that basically mean that. A thing. And that part of the English vocabulary that probably exists just doesn't seem to exist in my mind. And because of that, yeah, it just kind of like reduces to a thing. And it's just that to me, humor comes from two things. Being extremely vague or being extremely precise. And to me, leaving things in an extremely unprecise way, I think, can lead to humorous stuff, and that's just kind of like where it started. It's not really any more, it's not any more complicated than that. I don't mean to bring this up yet again because you're probably tired of people asking you why you don't like Mario Galaxy music, but you made a comment at some point that you don't like it because it's orchestral, doesn't have strong melodies, paraphrased. I understand what you mean by orchestral soundtracks, something not having strong melodies. There are probably plenty of games out there like that, and if you just don't care for Galaxy's music, that's perfectly fine. But Mario Galaxy music has just as much melody as any other Mario music, so it just doesn't make much sense to me to make that claim. This isn't really a question. Since then, I have learned the actual word I'm looking for. Lyrical is the quality of a melody that is singable. Basically, a music piece that feels as if it is sung. And I just do not get that sense at all from Mario Galaxy music. I recognize its quality as music, but it's lacking that lyrical aspect. To me, music is one of the most subjective things in the universe, so there's room for interpretation, there's room for you to disagree with me. But to me, that is the quote-unquote problem, though it's not really one, but it kind of is to me. Because it just, so like, it's good, but it doesn't catch my brain. Is God Emperor Raukal kind of let's start over. Is God Emperor Raukal kind of benevolent ruler that does everything to benefit the people, or is he a ruthless tyrant that rules with an iron fist that no one can challenge his title of best butt? Well, kind of like 80-20. I mean, to be a tyrant, you gotta be a tyrant. So whether you want to or not, there's gonna be an iron fist part of it, whether you want to or not. But, and that's just how it is, you know? And yeah. But he's trying to do right. But he does this with a little bit of force, and some people are not gonna agree. And if you're gonna be a tyrant, you gotta do something about that. And it sounds harsh, but ultimately it's for the best. Of course, every villain in the universe have done their things because to their mind it was for the best. So maybe God's Emperor Raukal is a villain, though. I don't know. That's you to judge. Villain and hero is basically entirely subjective, although a lot of modern media would make you try and believe otherwise. Connor Roo! Hey there, Corpse of Cow. Curious to know, how aware is the ghost of Christmas Ghost as to who or where your Advent gifts came from? How familiar is she with your fan base and the Talk House in general? Well, I mean, she's very aware. Okay, well, like, she knows that right now doing Let's Play is my job. I explain it as an entertainer. She kind of gets it. It's all good. But, like, and I think, you know, it's... I don't know, really, how she... I'm not sure how to answer that. Like, she's aware of it. Like, we kind of joke about it. Like, just yesterday, say, oh, man, you know, you keep getting all these boxes. You're these people's idols. And we laughed, but that's the way she understands it, I guess. She's very super unfamiliar with anything I do in the nitty-gritty, though. She doesn't really know what I do. My father, actually, is, of all family members, is the most attuned to what I do because he actually does watch some of my videos, but I think it's his way of, like, keeping contact, which I feel bad about. But, no, Ghost is just kind of like, she's aware it exists, she knows it's my job, and she knows I'm popular enough to get free stuff. I think that's how it boils down to. Rules of nature! See, earlier I had a Patreon request to please shout Rules of Nature at a random point during the video, and I just did. It was funny because it came out of nowhere. It's been a while since I commented because of life things. Hope you're still doing well, dude. Any interest in the upcoming Star Wars The Force Awakens or the franchise in general? If so, do you plan to see it in theaters? On a related note, do you go to the movies often? I'm kind of aware of Star Wars Force Awakens, but I'm feeling absolutely no drive to go and watch it. Like, I'm not trying to say this as being either when, oh, no, Star Wars is above me or anything, because that's not the case at all. I just don't have any interest. I don't know if it's the prequels that just burnt me, or it's just the sheer amount of hype out there in the universe that is kind of like knocking on my inner hipster's door, but I'm not feeling disdain or like going to say, oh man, it's gonna suck either. I just have, it's a complete non-entity to me, which might seem like a weird thing, but it is. I just have no opinion at all. I might probably not watch in theater. I used to go to movies pretty often with my dad when he lived in the same city as I lived. And he is going to move back to Sherbrooke in 2016. So when that happens, I'm probably going to return to watch movies. But since he left Sherbrooke, I haven't been to the movie theater once. I always saw it as that thing me and my dad do. And to me now, just going to the theater to see a movie just feels weird, as odd as it may sound. Sorry about that. It's been going on for a while. My throat is killing me, but we just got two things. And one of these is Fariel. He wrote to us after being done with the whole hospital business. I swear I'm not waiting so long to get the final thing again, honest, but that's how it goes. I tried to report back right away, but that didn't work out so well. Now I have to try and say something before it's too late, because it would be a shame to make people wait another week after all the kind words I received. Oh, Rao Cow, is it not truly tragic how one day you can be leaping and bounding through the streets carrying hundreds of pounds of wood in your hands with nice superhuman ease, and no 24 hours later find yourself with barely the strength needed to carry your own weight? Oh, hubris, how something something. But yeah, I guess considering they removed two different substances from my face I have heard described as, respectively, the size of a chicken egg and black, I guess I could be doing a lot worse. I can also confirm that you do wake up from anesthesia thinking about the same thing you'd thought about as you were passing out, because I clearly recall waking up to muddled thoughts relating to the talk house, because when the doctor gave the signal to pour in the anesthetic, I thought about all the kind support I got from people like you guys. I'm really grateful for that, so again, thank you so much. So yeah, I'm not exactly in good shape right now. I did put on a lot of weight in the right jaw area, hashtag swole. But all things considered, I'm soldiering through pretty alright, and after support from people like y'all got me through the procedure, now I'm being supported very lovely through the time of healing. Postscriptum, do you usually eat your eggs cooked? That would explain why you don't know about the stringy things. Those things, I tell you what. Man, I almost only, by which I mean I only eat my eggs cooked, unless they're part of a recipe, and even then they're going to get cooked with that recipe. Like in omelet form, or in souffle form, or in, sunny side up form. Why would I want to eat raw eggs? Yuck. You're crazy. No wonder we've got a black egg in your face. And we're ending with Patty Fancy. Seems that I tried line break. Oh, yeah. And we're ending with Patty Fancy. Patty Fancy. Seems when I tried to line break in the comments of last video, posted a comment before I could finish, and you couldn't see the edit I made asking you the question, hence why you only got a YouTube link. So here's last week's question. Dear Mr. Raocow, if anything, what anime made in the last couple of years have you been watching? Same goes for manga you may have been reading. Well, this season I'm basically just watching Obaru Homatagari. I don't know how to pronounce that, man. The last season of Bakemonogatari and One Punch Man is basically all. Last year I watched Kill la Kill. And that's basically all. I don't watch a lot. I watch very specific certain things. And I'm lucky if I watch like more than 2 shows a year. In terms of manga, I'm currently I'm reading through sheer like sheer momentum, a whole bunch of shonen stuff. I'm reading One Punch Man, both the Murata and the One version, Bleach, One Piece, just out of momentum really. I wouldn't suggest them, but they're there. Assassination Classroom, My Hero Academia, and Watamate. So there you go. Those are the Japanese things that I that I consume. Well, I suppose you could say that I confusingly consume, and it wouldn't necessarily be a lie. Thank you again for your understanding of the late delivery of this video, and join me next time when hopefully it's delivered on time, but I don't know if that's a promise I can do during the holiday season. Turns out that doing 3 videos a day takes up a non-zero amount of time. When I was doing when I was doing the Advent Christmas last year, I was just doing 1 video a day. Of course, I also had work, but it's a different kind of thing. But anyways, yeah. So, Cow, thanks you all once again, for all your support. You're all the best. You're all making this literally possible. And see you soon, man. See y'all real soon.